Question, just how stupid or just how blinded by elitism is the Progressive Conservative Party of Ontario? Well, here's the answer. From the very day Doug Ford announced his candidacy for leader, the PC executive looked upon Ford as their worst nightmare, even though Doug Ford actually represents the best chance the PCs have for actually winning. One could argue that given the cratering popularity of the Win Liberals, the PCs could paint a mailbox blue, proclaim it leader, and then coast to victory. Even so, when Doug Ford won a nail-biter of a leadership race last Saturday, the worst fears of the PC party elite came to fruition. Ford's an outsider, after all. He's not part of the insiders club, and much like Donald Trump and the Republican Party establishment, Ford was never truly wanted by the PC party executives. And you know, at one point, it began to look like the fix was in. For the first time, the PC party embraced an electronic balloting system, and true to form, it proved nothing short of a fiasco. Indeed, prior to Saturday, the party verified that of its approximately 190,000 members, just over 64,000 had actually cast their ballots. That's about a third. There were numerous stories about members who never received their ballots via Canada Post, or that the alphanumeric code did not work, or that sometimes members would log in only to be told a vote had already been cast. Bizarre and disturbing. In fact, Doug Ford's camp alone alleged that thousands of its supporters had been prevented from voting. And you want to know something, folks? More than a month before this debacle unfolded, yours truly predicted this scenario. I mean, I hate to say I told you so. What am I saying? I love to say I told you so. So here's an excerpt from my commentary that aired on February 4th. Allegations of ballot box fraud galore. The party brass is allegedly rotten. And the PCs are vulnerable to infiltration from outsiders. Would you trust these political keystone cops to honestly and accurately tally the electronically cast ballots of a leadership contest, especially when it is known that the elites within this party are terrified of Doug Ford becoming leader? I have 0.0 confidence in the PC party brass. And if I were Ford, I would demand an old-fashioned, old-school paper ballot process with independent scrutineers counting each and every ballot twice over. Because otherwise, I'm smelling a potential screw job here that would make Pepe Le Pew's scent resemble Chanel No. 5 by comparison. Hey, just call me the Prophet Menzoid. But in the final analysis, and despite the best laid plans by the elitists, Ford did prevail by the slimmest of margins, and it looks like the X factor was Tanya Granick-Allen. Under Patrick Brown, social conservatives were told they weren't welcome in the party, and although Tanya didn't really stand a chance of winning, the fact is more than 80% of her social conservative supporters picked Ford as their second choice. And this support is apparently what tipped the scales in Ford's favor versus Christine Elliott. But here's the ultimate irony. Doug Ford is saving the PC party from the PC party. Had either establishment candidate won, namely Elliott or Caroline Mulroney, here's what would have happened on election day. Ford Nation, not to mention so many other embittered conservatives, would have abandoned the PC party, either voting elsewhere in protest or simply staying home, all due to the perception or the reality that Doug was cheated from what was rightfully his. And that might have meant that for the fifth time in 15 years, the PCs would have shot themselves in the foot, yet again snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. As far as I can tell, Doug Ford has two jobs ahead of him prior to Election Day. First, there must be a redo in those numerous ridings where ballot box stuffing and other forms of fraud resulted in the wrong candidates prevailing. Cheaters cannot be rewarded. And then Ford has to jettison this current PC party executive. They're either too stupid or too blinded by their own elitist agenda, because it seems that the only time they do the right thing is when they are forced to do it. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, have you heard the Rebel has a brand new app? Please download that app and take the Rebel with you wherever you go.